usually in the first game of any series is a statement game. It's kind of going to let you know what the tone of the game is going to be moving forward. So absolutely going to be curious to see which team it is going to be that comes out ahead in here in game number 1. But I'm curious for you, actually. Which team do you think is going to be the game winner going into this series?
Oh, the game winner.
The series winner. Which one do you think is going to be?
Look, I'm going to go with the coldest take in the room. I think Fisher, they are definitely they're all about confidence. This is a team that walks into a room saying, not just that we hope we will win, we're going to win. Maysky and company are going to make sure that happens. We're going to go into game number 1. We are live and loud as we drop in for some Halo Infinite, our first match of our round-robin play.
I love this pressure that Alvi is putting onto Mike 120. You do not want this Nest player to be able to move across the map into green and cut off that line into sandbags, but we do have a 3-death situation on both sides, and Karate Jojo is going to grab the ball, and he's going to move it towards that A side of the map over by scoreboard, but he does get stalled out a little bit, but the University of Utah are already in a position to try to grab this ball, but 2 go down immediately, and Fisher's on the attack.
It was 7 dead to be able to begin things at the start of this game, and then everything's shifted from that middle paradigm of the S7. They've been able to retreat over towards that larger A door, trying to be able to at least take that position from out of key. They know they want to rotate from outside of dummies. That's a couple of big assists, and actually the numbers are plussing up for Utah as they get fast. One man to be able to beat. If they can be able to get a trade, they do not do so. That's an S7 in dangerous hands for Alvi.
That's a big win for Alvi to win over by Turbine. He has a sniper rifle in hand as well. They got to be very careful, but oh no, he has the repulse in his possession, couldn't pick up the camo right away, and now he goes down. S7 is down on the map, Monkey Man. His camo is still live, and we're already 3 minutes into this game.
Solid challenge over into scoreboard, but you see Maysky and company, they do not bat an eye at it, and it looks like we're finally going to get some extra calm. As this one retreats further back over towards A-Plat, you're going to have University of Utah that had a consistent and persistent attack to start things off. Braced will now take ownership as they have the extra active camo along with that S7, but the entire rotation has basically been sniffed out by Falcons as they want to take it to the other side of green. And Utah better be careful. They've got a ghost in their back line.
They got up, goes in the back line. Brace takes down one, helps his teammate to take down another. Hunnit gets himself a double kill in the wings, but Utah is not quite done yet with this fight in A, and they win it. 4 go down for Fisher Falcons, and now the Utes are going to grab the ball, and they're going to hold the ball inside of A.
Oh, but that's plenty of time for respawns. They had kind of basically a split spawn situation from out of the Falcons as they start running the same pathway that Utah was taking to be able to get here in the first place. A lot of numbers going down. That means that red and blue will be spread across the entirety of this map as the oddball travels to low side mid. Hunnit just trying to look for options. Lanzi wants to be able to win that one. He plants them straight into the stones, and now he'll take a handful of points.
Has to be careful because Maysky's there to greet him inside of Rat Tunnel door. And Maysky wins a nice piv on Cody Rue. A good double kill from Maysky. 3 down for the Utes, and Fisher College once again holding the ball inside of A. 45 seconds in total.
Maysky doing everything they need to. Currently 3.0 KD. They end up dropping out to this situation. They have nearly half the points. Now as Brace is trying to be able to at least pick up a few extra from off the oddball. And Utah has been doing really good about their general challenge game, but they've not had general possession. You see 53 points to 9. This one continues to travel towards a reset point as it goes towards green. Now it looks like Utah is planning out some of these extra spawns. We got Bridge, we got S7 again in the hands of the Falcons. That's not where you want that power weapon to be. If you're Utah, Hunnit looking for a target as they renegotiate this map.
Very early play ball from Utah. They were a little too worried about the pressure coming out of Fisher Falcons and decided to play it early and try to fight. They lose a couple of pips. Nice no-scope from Hunnit, but it's not going to be enough. Cody Rue is going to be able to take him down, and he's going to put down some damage as well on Alvi and takes him down too. You can slide all you want, buddy, but he finally gets taken down by another but Maysky. Maysky really showing out for this Fisher Falcons squad with 13 kills. 14 now.
Right now, the shining light for Utah is definitely Cody Rue boy, just in general for the KD. I know that this game, and it's a BO3, you want to give them a chance to be able to kind of slowly dip into the pool because Falcons want to drown you out. A couple of check nades, and then they get taken from behind, so Cody Rue will end their campaign there. But Falcons have been doing very well and making the rest of Utah suffer. Everyone negative about 5 or 6 or so, and every single time they start taking their composure and placing it at the door, they get crossfired from their flank, and Falcons will take more time.
Falcons just playing better as a team so far, and it's really showing in this oddball scoreline. 70 seconds and counting. Ball finally gets dropped, but Maysky is going to move it from green back inside of A. I love this rotation. As soon as they start to lose a lot of pressure on one side of the map, they're going to move it the opposite way, away from them, giving their teammates a better spawn. Alvi gets taken down by Mike 120. He is finally moving into A, and he's putting some pressure on, but Brace is already moving the ball towards scoreboard, so the ball has now effectively been played in no man's land, and University of Utah have to get a couple of kills before they can grab the ball. It looks like they're going to hold it for now, but how long can they hold it for before Fisher takes them down?
Every single point that is grabbed by Utah is coming at a premium that is so tough to pay. For the Falcons, it's nearly been free 50 with a coupon on the weekends, but now 3 going down for the Falcons. I think it's a split spawn as well because Brace was left on the other side waiting for his teammates to come back up. Utah has found a lot of extra value, but they're caught clambering to try and go for that camo that came up just seconds ago. This ball continues to just lay at the scoreboard. We got plenty of neutral time, I say that, but it's only about 100 seconds remaining before this one might go to the clock. Falcons are within reach. They just need 15 seconds.
Oh, but Cody Ruboy is continuing to play very, very well, trying to give as many chances as he can to the Utes to be able to come back into this game. Now Karate Jojo does have camo, the mouse and keyboard player for Utah, trying to use his camo to get the rest of their team some good pressure, but Brace spots him out. Brace gets taken down. Good cleanup by Lonzy. And it will be Fisher Falcons pushing really, really hard on that green side of the map. They take down one. Can they take down more?
There's a little bit of thievery of time. They've been able to cut this lead in half. You have a 2-man rush that's coming in through that major part of A. They're trying to hunt down where this rotation is going, if a rotation is happening at all. Eventually, the camo gets out of the hands of Karate Jojo.
Ooh.
Looking for one. He's going to be able to get a trade. That is huge for Falcons, as Utah is actually able to stand the test of time. A double kill up for Brace. He takes down the last man standing, and that spawn might be able to run us out the rest of round number 1.
Honestly, that was still a great play from Karate Jojo, but it ends up getting traded out by another great play from Brace as well. We do have 3 dead again for the University of Utah, but Mike 120 does get behind the rest of Fisher. A nice flank by him, but he's going to be cleaned up very quickly by the Fisher Falcons, and they're going to hold the ball and finish up round 1.
Solid work, very, very methodical from out of Fisher, and I like what we get out of Utah, but a lot of it was self-serving off of immediate sporadic play. They had to keep the pressure on. It was an exhausting style, and they never were able to really take control of the map because so much of that went over towards, hey, how do we tackle Turbine? How do we deal with never being able to reset unless it's being just drafted over towards green? I want to see if they can be able to take away the micro-meta situation that the Falcons obviously have first control of, which is where we're going to play onto this map. Now, we're back at green. No tower side play as of yet, but we're still on the outside perimeter where we've been.
Cody Ruboy trying to win this fight inside bottom mid. Doesn't get the trade. Brace going to be able to take him down, but gets cleaned up very quickly by Lanzi. Alvi taking down Karate Jojo as well. Means the ball is going to get played, but 11 seconds is not a bad start in round number 2 for the University of Utah. But they just have to be very, very careful because Maysky with an S7 is very, very dangerous. Okay. He is the kill leader with 21 kills and 9 deaths. And Lanzi, unfortunately, not able to take down Hunnit, who gets cleaned up. But so far, it's just absolute bedlam and bloodshed in this bottom mid.
I mean, if you look at what Maysky's doing, he's definitely holding head and shoulders with everyone. I mean, he's looking to take that seniority, that veteranship that he's had for so long here with Fisher and really run with it. And he's done that on an objective side as well as KD's side. But you can only do so much with an S7 when 7 nades land in your face. So they are able to at least splash him out. Finally, some extra time now here in round number 2 by the Falcons as they go into common and familiar territory, trying to play around this dummy side. Lanzi is really starting to come alive, but eventually too many Utes are too weak, and that means Fisher is going hunting. But hold that thought. The other duo comes through as Utah takes him from behind.
But 3 go down for the Utes, and Alvi gets to clean up. Mike 120 taking him down. They are spawning in green, which means they will be able to put pressure inside of A early. Hunnit gets taken down by Karate Jojo, who managed to sneak through mid. Nice double kill from Karate Jojo as well. Can he stay alive before they all go down? Maysky's last member standing, but he is a tough player to take down, and Karate Jojo wants no part in it.
Trying to traverse this one now. Karate Jojo is getting the call-outs from his teammates. They know that rotations are going to be following them, as you see on our map right now. We get the awesome production fly-through of so much of that as they are trying to track them towards that C and tower, but they're also going for the fake-out. That ball has traveled no further. That's going to be the offside of mid, so they're going to try and take some of these pivs. Running away with their life is Alvi, and is able to just do what he can from off of an absolute situation. They actually end up going down. Falcons, they sniffed it out, and they're able to just keep the Utes at bay.
Hunnit doing some work for Fisher Falcons, chasing Maeskey for the kill leader. 21 kills now with that perfect 5 on Lanzi. Karate Jojo taken down by Brace means that Fisher is going to hold the ball inside of A. Remember earlier I said that tower was the premier spot that players want to hold the ball in. However, they just haven't been able to get across the map because all of the U's are spawning over on tower side. Oh. And Hunted gets taken down by Lanzi. A good piv by Lanzi to get that double kill, and now University of Utah are going to get the sniper rifle and ball in hand.
Very timely situation to be able to get Hunted out of the way because Lanzi picks up a big power weapon to hold this corridor. Now, for how long can they do so? Nice no-scope just on top of the bag. Can they be able to do it again? They at least waste another bullet that the Falcons cannot use. Some extra time. 47 seconds have been acquired. That's a couple of Utes too many for Alvi to be able to handle. So suddenly Utah is at least threatening around. They slap one man down. That's going to be a Plasnade that's going to be able to take at least one man out of the way. It becomes a 2 versus 2. Are the Utes ready for the rush? I don't think so. The waves are crashing against the cliffside. Maeskey's trying to lead the charge.
Oh man, Maeskey's so good at living. He's being absolutely annoying, showing off his skills, dancing behind that pole and jiggle picking to perfection, but it will be just a matter of time before the University of Utah are able to finally clean him up. But is it a little bit too late? Because now the Utes have found themselves in a really difficult situation. They can't hold the ball. They have to play Slayer for just a little longer. Good trade from Mike 120.
Slayer is actually a better situation for the Utes right now than it is for the Falcons because they are down by 40 points. Now, it's just about how the rest of those respawns begin to work, and Maeskey has decided that the call is to work this one from outside Turbine, go to dummies, and now get to that very hard to acquire spot in tower. They were waiting for this play call eventuality to occur. Utah, they eventually get out-rotated. Now they're in chase, but the Falcons have set up to try and retrieve them.
Alvi, first casualty in this battle for the tower, does get traded out. Cody Ruboy gets taken down, but Maeskey also dead. 3 go down for Fisher. It is just Hunted left inside of top mid, and Karate Jojo doing a great job staying alive over by Dice. Great job by him to play for his life, forcing Hunted to flee. Now Hunted's going to try to push towards bottom mid, over towards Mud, but has to be careful because University of Utah do have a player in Nest. But Mike 120 goes down. It's just 3 versus 4. Hunted's going to have to play this ball, and he does so.
That's a very smart move. 2 minutes to go. Whenever we get to about this spot and we're sub 100, I start looking at who's closer and if we're going to be even hitting 100 between either of these teams. Utah, obviously, they can be able to hit it just a little bit quicker. We're 50 points-ish just away from Falcons trying to be able to catch up. They are controlling at least the power play from out of Falcons. You've got the camo on the hands of Braced. What can you really do with this one? Utah's looking to at least swarm everyone into dummies, but they're going straight into the spawn side of Falcons. They are challenging them from where they come around.
Utes are trapped over by Scoreboard and by Turbine, and they all get immediately 4 wide. Good patient play from Brace. Didn't want to reveal himself too early, having that camo in hand and nobody else to be able to play off of his damage. So very well done by Brace. Very patient play. It's exactly what you want to see from your camo player.
Solid work, and they know that they take hold of the oddball. Don't really need to keep it for themselves. Toss it to a teammate and see what more information they can get. Man around the corner. Maeskey goes down. What's the play call going to be? You're about just short of 30 seconds to try to be able to catch up to the Utes. They're rushing in. They're going to splash against these walls. You have a 2v3. They've actually been able to take the ball away. This one may be going to a round number 3, a rarity of anything being done against the Falcons. Utah, do they actually decide to fake out going towards green? They're going greedily straight to 100 points.
This is their desperate play to try to force that round 3. It is a 2 versus 3 right now, but it's not going to matter because they've done exactly what they needed to do. Karate Jojo with the ball. You see the fist bumps going across the row for the University of Utah. What a great round number 2 to bring it back, because I think we both can assume that Fisher Falcons could have easily won this 2-0, but we do get this round number 3, the last and final round of this oddball game in just game 1.
They were neutralizing Maeskey, and that initial kill-off rip was huge. You got some good sniper play. That's also happening. They put a 50 cal into the shin plate of a would-be coming Spartan, but the rest of Utah ends up being wiped out at the beginning of round number 3. Now, this will set a great tone for Fisher. They're going to bring this one immediately over to the tower side. They're going to set up shop. They're going to let this one be variable from off of camo play, and as they know that all of Utah has realized this is going to become a consolation prize, they are pushing with a lot of Spartans.
They are pushing, and they are taking them them down one at a time, but again, Alvi with that repulse, he couldn't grab the camo when he wanted to, and he gets taken down. And the University of Utah, despite all of that defense from Fisher Falcons, now find themselves in a situation where they are not able to grab camo. But Cody Ruboy gets taken down by a Mace, sniped to the face. He gets a double kill, and the MVP himself does it all.
Oh, man. I mean, already we're getting the chance of that here in the booth, and that may end up being what it is at the end of the day. And Mace's trying to make sure that they do not become a faded asset. They continue to press along. They do not want to have be able to disappear from their teammates. Because last time when that happened in round number 2, I think it felt a little bit personal. It's like, you know what, guys? They were looking at me. I was the primary target. I cannot go away. So with the S7 in hand, they've taken control, at least at the early portion of round number 3. Cody Ruboy, they bounce this ball forward. They want to go up towards tower. Fisher knows that this is their house. They're trying to defend it. That's a camo that at least sends out one. That spike nade brings good old Cody to as low as possible, but they finally begin to acquire some points.
Great rebound play for the Utes, and Fisher Falcons, even though Macy played absolutely phenomenal, and he finds himself in a nice sneaky situation as well. Nobody's aware of him over by C-Plat. Catches Mike 120 off guard, but unfortunately also takes a bunch of reciprocal damage, gets cleaned up by Mike 120. Nice slide chow right there, and Alvi gets cleaned up as well. Great play from Mike 120 to keep everybody in it. 3 go down for Fisher Falcons, and the Utes are going to continue to hold their ball inside a tower. Hunnit is going to be the first contact, trying to stay alive inside of Dice. Karate Jojo drops to no shields, but Mace, he takes contact, he takes damage, forced to drop towards back mud, and now Fisher Falcons, they have a great flank over on the University of Utah. Can the Utes win this piv? Can they fight? Karate Jojo can't send him off the map.
Oh!
Ball goes apart, and the University of Utah go 4 dead, and the Fisher Falcons grab ball and hold tower.
They knew that they had some extra reinforcements climbing over the backside of the tower. They had to hold a lot of attention as he ran up that staircase side, and then getting a double kill, and you saw him bop the body. He knew exactly how much that's going to hurt the Utah Utes' pride. And now tracking from behind, Mace trying to take advantage of this one, hoping to pancake someone, but they end up getting caught, so they lose that pivot. And Lanzi hoping to be able to make this jump, but they are just shot in the shins. So Utah, this is going to be a play ball. They go up to 59 seconds on the side of Fisher. A very hurt player. They can't pick up that S7, can't even challenge for it, so they're going to be chased. Oh, that was not wise. They end up trying to just hard scope in. They knew they had a lot of their teammates coming around the corner, so maybe that's why they went for something a bit too ambitious.
I mean, it's brave, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to try to guarantee the aim assist with the zoom in, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in that situation, it just takes a second too long for him to be able to rip the shot off before he gets taken down. Mace trying to do what he can. We all have seen before already this game alone what Mace can do with that S7. But wait a minute, where did you come from? An angel drops from the sky and delivers another player right into the open arms of Lanzi. And Lanzi, he gets a triple kill, but the rest of his team go 3 dead. Mike 120's first respawner, and Mace himself, he just says, you know what? I'm going to take control. I'm going to hold the ball, and I'm going to move this to where the rest of my team.
That is fantastic work from out of Lanzi, but is it too little too late? Nice shot to the old chest plate. Sends one out. Mike 120, Cody, Rude Boy, Karate Jojo. I'm literally just looking at the scoreboard at this point as everyone starts to disappear. Lanzi, the only hero that's maybe going to be able to give Utah a chance, but there's too many Falcons in too many places. They're going to be able to take too many points for Utah to catch up. So Mace and company, that is not to give disrespect to any of the rest of the Falcons, but a well-oiled machine, they most definitely are. They'll be taking our first oddball. Very efficient play, but you got to give it to Utah. When they got feisty and they forced that one to be less of a setup play, especially from out of tower, they forced Falcons to have to renegotiate all of live fire. Solitude is going to be unforgiving. That is everything that always happens in Solitude. The Slayer especially. I love myself some King of the Hill, but that's not what we got right now. It's going to be going into game number 2, obviously for our oddball and these BO5s. So this is them kind of getting a good lurch into what the overall extremity of exhaustion you could have per series of the day. Utah will be given a break because Fisher has to play 2 back-to-back between Utah and UNA. So make the best of this as you can. We'll go into game number 2 as we hit up some Slayer.
We're going to be on the PLV of Alvi once again. Fisher College are going to be up 1 game in this best-of-5 series. This is the University of Utah's best chance to try and tie up the series. Are we going to see much of the same from game number 1, or are we going to see the Utes make something happen, but 3 go down for the Utes. Unfortunately for them, it's not going to happen just yet, but it's still very early in the Slayer game.
Lots of good old fighting out in a yard, and as much of that focus goes that way, well, Fisher basically had a free playground to go towards bridge and hit up where that camo into that shock rifle is going to be. Now, they're going towards Hunted, definitely a player that I was looking at. Oh, my Lord. He's able to get the zap and tap, able to just put him down on the ground. A lightning bolt critical hit.
Hunnit and Maysky back at it once again in Game 2 Slayer, and they have not let up on the gas pedal whatsoever. The Utes are left reeling down 8 kills so far. Make that almost 10, like 9 kills now. And unfortunately, the Fisher Falcons, they just look like they're playing in their almost premier prime form.
This is exactly what I was looking for from out of Hunted. This is a player that was putting out a ton of damage, and then, the support factor to them is that they were finding those, but also there was a lot of good cleanup from out of their teammates. Every single time they were going for the 2-3 shot and melee ender from out of this, Fisher is getting the initial shots much faster than Utah. So target acquisition becoming a difficulty right now for the Utes. Now you see an 11 kill spree. Make it 12, and then we continue on with that comparison. It can be catch-up time on some good old Solitude. Unfortunately for Utah, they are being fish, barrel, and speared in.
They are not surviving the talons of the Fisher Falcons whatsoever. Those talons have gone deep into the skins of these Utes, and unfortunately, they're just unable to really find any purchase. For now, there's a little bit of a standoff, but Hunted catching Mike 120 a little bit off guard, but thankfully he's got a little help from the rest of his friends, but he re-chows and takes him down. Great, confident play outside of Hunted, but Maysky and Hunted, they are just absolutely dominating in this game. 21-9, and the Fisher Falcons look like they're just going to run away with it.
It's still the same differential as it was in the first couple of minutes. That's not to speak that it's okay, but it definitely is as it has been. It's not gotten too much worse. Utah is trying to keep that one in mind. A bit of copium will help along the way as this Slayer continues to evolve. As we get to the midway mark, at least right now, for Fisher, we go online with Alvi, who quietly kind of workhorses their way between Maysky and Hunted and sees where they need to go, and they absolutely stay focused from off of that ramp.
I think the Utes just need to slow down their game just a little bit. They're playing way too aggressive right now. They're playing right into the talons, into the proverbial bird hands, I suppose you can call it.
Bird hands.
Bird hands of the Fisher Falcons. I mean, they just need to reel things back a little bit. They're clumping up. They're getting really, really aggressive. They're a little overconfident, quite frankly, and Fisher is capitalizing on it massively. 29-14 now, make that 30-14. They have almost double the score of the Utes.
I still have a weird mental image of wings replaced by hands. Just no arms, just hand. That'd be.
I'm trying to show you my hands.
Yeah, I see your hands. That's frightening. What a shot from out of Maysky. 3.0 KD, has 6 assists. Going to be able to try and at least finish off the man that's just trying to clamber around. Eventually, they get taken down. That shock rifle is up for grabs, but it is nearly doubled up, and now even more so as we're threatening Steak Town. Is that barbecue? Wait, hold on. Is Brandy going to give me some food? Not today.
He's got some steak jerky in his hands.
We'll talk about that later. I'm still hurt. University of Utah, them even worse.
Even worse, 36-19. They're just trying to play the best game that they can. 3 go down for the Fisher Falcons, but a great grenade from Maysky does end up finding Lonzy inside of Dip there, and he gets taken down. Karate Jojo inside of bottom mid, trying to make a move from Prius over towards Dip again. Finds Brace, but Brace winning a huge fight against him. That's just kind of been the Slayer, as now they go up by 21 kills in the Slayer game. We are 9 kills away from finishing this one out.
Solid extra teamwork happening out of Brace. You mentioned him a bit ago. We got to see some good sniping play on that previous live fire, and as we go online again with Alvi, I mean, the 11 assists you get between, actually 18 in combination with Alvi and Brace. They know to be able to really kind of make this a duo situation between them and Maysky and Hunted. So Fisher, I mean, this one has been kind of said and done since the beginning, and continuing on, it's not just a wake, but Fisher is absolutely ripped at the seams against Utah as Utah continues to need even more to go forward, and they're going to need some absolute hopium to go into game number 3. 1 kill left to go. Fisher will clean it all up. That's a steak-tacular, and that's going to be a 2-up in this series.
Well, everybody gets a steak dinner tonight,
Om
courtesy of
nom.
the Fisher Falcons. So thank them for some delicious steaks being delivered right to our virtual front door. But what a dominant performance from Fisher Falcons. Now that was kind of what we were talking about, why they are the favorite seed going into this tournament. They are just on another level when they get online and unlocked. You know what I mean? It's just. They are just on a completely different level once they get just a full head of steam, and they just chug away, and you just cannot stop them. It's like you're not even you can't even use Newton's law against them. You know, they are an unstoppable force, and you're a very, very, very movable object in front of them.
Game number 3 is going to be indicative of this one goes any further, which I think we have forbidden CTF after this. Kind of
If we go to a game 4,
yeah,
yes,
I mean,
we
kind
do.
of a wild one to have to jump point, but that's speaking too far in the future. Can the Utes be able to set the tone early? I feel like this one might be one in the first 10 seconds.
But let us know, chat, who you think is going to win game number 3. I want to see whatever supporting words that you have for each team. Do you guys think Fisher Falcons is going to 3-0 sweep the Utes? Or do you think that the potential reverse sweep dream is going to start now? We're going to find out game number 1. Brace is going to be the POV for us to start us off. And so far, things are tied up. But Brace finds himself launched into the open arms of Lonzy and Lanzy is going to take him down, but Karate Jojo taking out Mayski means that he is going to receive a 4.5 caliber bullet to the brain from Alvi.
That they make that armor tough, but I don't think they make it that tough.
No, so, it's an armor piercing bullet from that S7, you know?
Oh, armor piercing.
Designed to rip through the hull of a tank.
That's actually kind of disgusting. All right, well, they won't find any movement vehicles as of yet, but University of Utah, they do have at least early looks into the first hill. The veil goes up, trying to be able to at least take advantage of this position. Alvi a bit too slow, takes the old man route, crouches their way out of position, trying to be able to get that S7. They land to the belt buckle, but that's just going to go right into the waiting arm. Braced for impact as they're able to get a double kill off the rip.
And he's not done yet. He waited for his shields to come back. Very patient play, but he's in a very powerful position with this S7. 2 more rounds left in the changeover. What can he do with it? Karate Jojo reveals himself for just a second, but Cody Rue crosses the sights of Brace, and he receives a bullet to the chest. He gets to live for now, but Brace, he's looking to clean up some damage. So much damage taken by the Utes inside a red tower, and Hunnit, he launches himself up into the air, gets taken down, but 2 versus 2 between these two teams. However, that hill clock is being ticked down second by second by Mayski.
This is good coverage by the freshmen of Brace. They know they have taken on too many targets, but they've done just as you get the remote debt from out of Mayski, giving their life and giving their team a chance to now take over red, because as soon as that was happening, they know that next hill was priority for Utah. They had given up the rest of that timer, and they had to be able to walk away from it. So as Mike 120 tries to be able to buy some time, there's too many Falcons roosting up into the rafters. So good looks from out of Falcons knowing what comes next. Utah giving them some guff here for Hill 2.
For dead, they're going to be able to get this hill, and now they have a good defensive setup potentially inside a red tower. 2 players from Fisher spawn over by Cargo. Actually, the whole team spawning on the same side of the map means this is going to be a big push coming from Computer Door and also from Ice. And the Utes have to hold here, but they're a little too late to the defensive play. They all 4 go dead, and the Falcons now have moved in and taken control.
They've narrowed their scope. Their POV ended up going to exactly where the same spawn was, but that's a lot of targets. And that's, if you end up peeking out into kind of a 1vx situation, you're always going to end up dropping out. And Fisher is very efficient about how they're able to take on, especially kind of some of those narrowed lanes. So Utah ends up folding at the scenes. Got that QT online. Didn't matter. They got an extra one as he was tossed at him. Was that a repulsor? What was that?
He got launched into his teammate, and Hunnit was more than happy to deliver the game-ending, life-ending rather, elbow to that Utah player. And as 2 go down once again for Utah, they are finding themselves in a very difficult spot again, being forced to spawn over by Tower. But Hunnit, he finds himself the S7, this sniper rifle. He's looking to put it to work. He's just waiting for somebody to cross his crosshairs. Yeah,
and knowing that one of his teammates just went down, he actually cannot land first contact on a Karate Jojo, so that is a 2-man push here into this other side of red. He's going to have this at least elevated position, but he drops to ground, and this hill is anything but taken. It is all of a single breath away from Fisher going up 2-0 here into this King of the Hill. They saw it quickly set up for all of a hot second, but now that weapon will be going away. It is completely empty. That is exactly why they don't reload. If they die off life with that, then it ends up going the right way. But just off screen, they were able to clear enough of the Utes out of the way to turn this into 2-0. We go green.
I think that was an intentional play from Hunnit, you know, using all the weapons in the S7 so that when Lanzy went to go and pick it up, it was out of ammo and he couldn't use it. Finds himself locked in animation on both sides. No weapon, no ammo in the Bandit, no ammo in that S7, but 2 go down again for the Utes. And although the Falcons have taken 2 hills so far, they're looking to take 3. I don't think they want this to go to time. They want to go all the way.
I mean, this is a situation, again, that Utah has been in before whenever they were facing off against UNA. It's not something that they want to turn into a pattern. Green Room is so tough to be able to take over, especially because you have a nice defense just basically set up in the middle of hill number 3 with this bin 10 room, the Omnitrix standing there very proudly, so you can be able to cycle around that and basically no one touches you. So Utah is looking at hill number 4 as they more or less virtually kind of surrender this one. Still, they're going for first contact. Brace is going to take that one any day of the week. They take at least 1 of 1, and they go for another. That's a double kill from out of Mike 120. They give their life. This next hill is so incredibly difficult to take. It's so exposed.
Yeah, this is pretty much the do-or-die situation that Utah is going to have to find themselves in. Just like you said, the most exposed hill besides the ice hill in this rotation. And it's very, very difficult to take. So many angles, so many sightlines you're going to expose yourself to by just trying to step foot in the hill. But the Utes are going to have to get it done if they want to have a chance of coming back in this King of the Hill game because, again, Fisher Falcons are already 2 up in this series. If they win this one, they're going to have 1 win, and the Utes are going to have 1 loss.
Yeah, that's very true. But the fashion that we're seeing Utah take control of this one, this is exactly what they did to UNA when we spoke of that double elimination bracket, forcing the spawns to be all the way back to that red ramp. And if they can be able to at least have that window, they might find some chance points to keep Fisher continuously reset. Now they're actually getting rushed from behind from outside of blue. You have 2 that are going to be up to the other side of bridge. And as Mike 120 tries to re-navigate, they actually have all of Fisher looking at him. Oh, you jumped into the Viper pit and they get bit.
Bit and taken down, and the Utes are now in that same situation that the Fisher Falcons were in themselves a little bit before, except this time around, they have full map control right now. Maskey, again, doing exactly what we all know he's capable of doing. 19 and 9 so far with a few assists, but so is the rest of the team. Brace, Alvi, even Hunnit with 7 assists is also helping out the rest of the team as well. But everybody has done a little bit of work. Look at the objective score. Everybody has been on the hill at least once so far this game.
Able to put in some work in general, and it feels like Fisher is now just trying to consistently and methodically force Utah into the worst possible position.
On it!
Just let them know. That is something that we were talking about pre-broadcast. There's a little bit of spice between Karate Jojo and Hunnit, and he's letting them know all about it. Who was on Moist? Oh, maybe that guy. They do try to take up that S7. Karate Jojo is the last remaining member here for Utah. It is a sneeze away from this hill being done in play. As we go through it, it's a 4-0. Fisher Falcons, they will 3-0 this first series of round-robin play.
And as we look at the team cams here, it's just business as usual. Fisher getting ready to give fist bumps over to the other team, as is a common courtesy when it comes to collegiate esports or esports in general. But my, oh my, I got to ask if Karate Jojo, how does he like his tea? Because it looked like Hunnit was serving some Earl Grey or perhaps maybe a little bit of chai tea. Who knows?
Yeah, that was some extra. But you know what? It wasn't done too much to the unexpected position for both these teams. We talk about the passion that ends up happening in these pits. Sometimes they bark at each other over the line, and sometimes they go, you know, like dead, like whatever's going to be happening. The good news is the competition's left in the competition.
It is, yes.
They'll let the tournament speak for itself, and then afterwards there's some fist bumps, there's some extra shaking of hands. So, but Fisher Falcons, I mean, look, they got tested. I would say that a couple of those hills looked a bit spicy, and especially to the hill number 4. That first game of the series looked great. They had a round taken off of them, but ultimately Falcons took care of business, and Maskey much more than the rest.